Hey there, if you're considering a move to Nashville, Tennessee, you're not alone. Whether you're relocating for work, escaping high cost of living cities like LA or Chicago, or you're just drawn to the charm and culture of Music City, we need to talk about what it actually costs to live here in 2025. Spoiler alert, it's not cheap anymore, but it's still a lot more manageable than any other major metros if you know where to look. In this video, we'll cover everything: housing, property taxes, insurance, utilities, groceries, healthcare, transportation, and so much more. So be sure to stick around until the end so you're not blindsided by a few hidden costs that people sometimes forget. Let's start with the big one, housing. In 2025, the median home price in Nashville is sitting around $470,000, up from the roughly $440,000 last year. So that's about a 10% increase over the national average, and it's even higher if you're buying in hot zip codes like 12 South, East Nashville, Germantown, Green Hills, and there's so much more. Now, if you're coming from somewhere like San Francisco or New York City, you'll probably be thrilled, but if you're used to smaller towns or more rural pricing, yeah, it's probably gonna be a jump. Condos in downtown start around $300,000, and new construction in places like Antioch or Madison can get your home in the mid 300s, though you may trade off on commute time or walkability. Rents: one-bedroom apartments in the core, think Midtown or the Gulch, will run you easily $1,800 to $2,200 a month. Now, outside the core, in areas like Hermitage, Bellevue, Laverne, you're probably more in the $1,200 to $1,600 price range, and that's just for a one bedroom. Nashville is in Davidson County, and our property rate is $3.25 per $100 of assessed value as of this recording. But remember, Tennessee doesn't assess homes at full market value. The state only taxes 25% of your home's appraised value. So if your home is worth, let's say, $500,000, you're only taxed on $125,000 of that. So your annual bill on a $500,000 home is about $4,000. Not terrible, and if you qualify for certain exemptions like the senior freeze or veterans benefit, you could pay even less. Now, this is where Nashville still shines. Insurance costs are relatively low. Expect to pay $1,000 to $1,500 per year for a standard homeowner's policy. Now, this does depend on a few things like roof age, flood zones, and your neighborhood. If you're near the Cumberland River or a known floodplain, like parts of East Nashville or Madison, you'll need flood insurance most likely, which could cost up to $750 to $1,250 potentially, and that's per year. Now, let's break down the average utility costs in Nashville. For electricity, you're looking at $125 to $200 a month, depending on season and home size, of course. For water and sewer, it's most likely $70 to $100. Gas is gonna be about $60 to $80 a month. Trash pickup, usually included in metro services for city residents, but if you're outside of Davidson County, like Mount Juliet, Spring Hill, Franklin, it might be $20 to $35 a month. Your total utility costs roughly is gonna be about $250 to $400 a month, depending, of course, on location and your home size. Real quick, guys, if you're finding this helpful, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe. I post weekly videos breaking down Nashville's neighborhoods, market trends, and everything you need to know before moving here. And if you're seriously thinking about relocating, shoot me a text or email. I'd love to help you find your next home in Music City. Now, Tennessee has some perks when it comes to driving. No annual vehicle inspection like California, lower than average gas prices, around $3.10 a gallon right now. Vehicle registration is actually super cheap. It's about $100 a year. Now, Nashville doesn't have a great public transit system yet, so you'll most definitely need a car unless you're living and working downtown in the more walkable neighborhoods. Groceries in Nashville are pretty on par with the national average, maybe 1% to 2% higher, depending on where you shop. Here's what we've got: Trader Joe's, Publix, Kroger, Walmart, Whole Foods, Aldi, and a few specialty stores popping up all the time. The average monthly grocery bill for a family of 2 to 4, it's probably gonna be about $500 to $800 a month. And if you're used to paying California prices, this will probably feel like a steal. Healthcare is slightly above average cost-wise, but quality is excellent. We have Vanderbilt, HCA, Ascension, St. Thomas. All major players are headquartered here in Nashville. So expect to pay around $350 to $500 per month for mid-range private insurance, $40 to $75 for basic visits without insurance. Emergency and specialist care costs are similar to the US average, but access to top-notch doctors is above par for sure in the Nashville area. Here's a major win for Tennessee: no state income tax. That's right, your wages, pensions, retirement distributions, Social Security, it's all tax-free at the state level. It's one of the reasons that Nashville continues to attract high-income earners, remote workers, and business owners from across the country. HOA fees in Nashville vary quite a bit. Newer communities in places like Mount Juliet, Antioch, or Bellevue expect to pay anywhere from $60 to $250 a year. Even luxury or gated communities in Brentwood and Franklin don't often cost more than $500 a month. The good news is you can still find older homes with no HOA at all, especially in East Nashville, Donaldson, or parts of Madison. Here are some extra costs people forget to budget for when moving. You have moving, which is $3,000 to $10,000 depending on how far and how big your house is and where you're moving from. Private school tuition. If you're not using public schools, this can range from $10,000 to the more elite private schools at about $30,000 per year. Now here's a bonus. Seniors 65 and plus can apply for property tax freeze, and veterans may qualify for discounts on tax exemptions. So is Nashville affordable? It depends. Compared to LA, New York City, or even Austin, it's a steal. Compared to smaller towns, maybe not. But if you value zero state income tax, a booming economy, and vibrant culture, Nashville is packed with a ton of value. Hey guys, thank you again for sticking around to the end of the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, as we put out weekly videos on what it's like to live in Nashville and everything that Nashville has to offer. Thanks. See you guys next week.